until Herod was dead. They returned and went north to Nazareth, where Jesus was raised in Nazareth. But Jesus grew up, and at 12 years old, he went to church with his mom and dad and got lost in the crowd. But when they were a little ways down the road, they turned from the crowd and said, "Hey, where's Jesus?" He was 12 years old, had gone through his bar mitzvah, and then they went back and found him amazingly not shooting pool, not playing cards, not playing dominoes, but rather he was in the temple talking to the prophets and the priests. And they took Jesus back home. Jesus grew up to become all that God made him to become. How do you know, preacher? Because Jesus went out healing the lame. They started walking. He gave sight to the blind. He gave hearing to the deaf. And I mean, crowds followed Jesus. He even took a little boy's lunch with a few fishes and loaves and kept breaking it until 5,000 men, besides women and children. But he was amazing. He went to Cana of Galilee and the wine had run out. He said, "Put some buckets of water in there." He didn't touch it. He didn't pray over it. He looked at it. The water blushed in the master's face and turned from water to wine. And the potentate came downstairs and took a sip and said, "You have saved the best wine till last." I tell you, Jesus did miracle after miracle after miracle. And guess what? His mother was always there. But when they took him out to Calvary, guess who was there? The Bible says Mary's sister that was married to Cleopas, she was there. Sister-in-law should have been there. But then there was Mary Magdalene, who was once filled with 7 devils. She should have been there because Jesus called 7 devils out of her. Anybody that the Lord has touched your life and devils have come out, you ought to be for the Lord. But then his mom was there. Mary, that birthed Jesus, was at the cross. Well, why is that so significant, preacher? Because you got to know what they were saying at the cross. They were cussing at the cross. They were lying on Jesus at the cross. They were calling Jesus Beelzebub, the high priest of the devil. They were calling Jesus, "If you be the Son of God." I mean, what else do you want him to do? He's already giving sight to the blind, making the lame to walk, the deaf to hear, and he's turning water to wine. What else do you want him to do? And Jesus was on that cross, and Mary was watching her boy being humiliated, beat. She was watching him be punctured with a spear. She was watching her son being lied on. It takes a lot for a mother to watch her child be lied on. She wouldn't leave the cross. And that's a mother. Whatever trouble that her child is in, she will stay to the end. That's a mother. A mother is strong. She can bear trouble in the faith when it comes to her child. She's not going to run and hide. Mary stood by the cross with 2 other women and 1 other man. She said, "I don't need no army to stand with me. That's my boy. I don't need all my neighbors to come out here right now. That's my son. That's my child that's up there." The Bible says that noonday turned into midnight. Matthew says that the old buried prophets got up out of the grave and marched through the streets of Jerusalem. But Jesus stayed on the cross for a sinful dying world. John wrote it like this: "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, so he could die on